Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Yo, check it out. 21 Savage tried to go back and apologize. I don't like his apology. I'm gonna let it be known straight up. I'm gonna speak on why I think it was even more of a disrespect than the statement. We all know that it's F the streets. Let's get that straight. But when you got somebody that made it out the street from raping the street, now saying F the street like they saying F you, I got your money, nah. Sit back and listen to this, man. All right?
Keep it going, 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 keep it going. Mecca what? Mecca Audio, Mecca what? Mecca Audio, Mecca what? Mecca Audio, Mecca what? Mecca Audio. I like the way it's going down.
All right, you know what it is. Unique Mecca Audio, man. Yo, check out 21 Savage. He's laughing like it's a joke, and he don't know that brothers that was born and bred and raised in the street took this statement a hell of a lot different than your regular suburban streamers. You know, let's stop it. But we're going to play this because this moved me, and I did a video yesterday on him, but I didn't want you to think that I was being biased. I'm going to let you hear his Lilliputious ass, that means small, minute, apology, and he's laughing, and he's still trying to justify his actions. Either you feel you're wrong or you're right. But what 21 Savage need to do is clarify what he means when he say F the streets. Because I agree with him when you say F the streets. But I already shed my blood on the streets. So I can say that. If you have never walked on the streets, never experienced the streets, never smelt the streets, never lived on the streets, never ate off the streets, then you can't speak on the streets. But you're right, it is F the streets, and that's coming from me. That did 26 years in federal prison, 5 years in ADX. I done been to Lewisburg, Lum Park, Allenwood, Coleman, Florida. Come on, should we keep going? Lee County. I've been around the system for the streets. I gave my life for the streets. I wouldn't tell it on my own brother after he died because my oath was so strong to the street. That don't make it right. It's right in my book from a street perspective. But from you suburbanites and you YouTube video watchers, it's the stupidest thing you ever heard. And I understand that, but I'm not going to sit here and belittle you because you don't stand for the codes and morals and principles that I was bred in. And that wasn't by choice. You got these rappers, they rapping about and going on the street by choice. We didn't have a choice. So the streets that we talking about the streets that we was forced to have to endure. We couldn't run back to the suburbs. We got lucky, and on the weekends, we might go to the suburbs to see a family member who made it out the hood. But for those that got to live there, that had to live there and still living there, when you say F the streets and they trying to survive, some trying to do it legally. So it's not about, the streets in the illegal aspect, because you got legal and illegal. Let me take you on a ride. Back in my day when we poisoned our community that I apologized for, and I'm apologizing again for poisoning my community. When we did that, right, and it was time to poison the community, we made sure during school hours we wasn't out there pushing that poison where the babies that was abandoned by the mothers, left to be fend for by the grandmothers, had to walk them to school and pick them up from school. Could you believe that? We poisoned the community, but we got so much morals and respect that we don't want the babies to see the corruption that we're doing as adults. I've seen children run up on their mother straight crackheads and don't even realize that she's a crackhead and everybody's looking at her like a derelict. But to that child, it's just his mother. And I seen the mother cuff a stem that she's smoking, cracking in the palm of her hand while she kissing her baby, telling him, I'm coming to tuck you in. And as soon as the baby leave, you know, and just came from the back of an apartment giving oral to somebody. Because like KRS-One said, the ooh is free because the crack costs money. That's the streets I'm speaking about right now. We're not speaking about the streets where your mother go get a 9 to 5, come home at 5 o'clock, cook your meal, do your homework with you, give you a bath, tuck you in. We talking about the streets where the baby is living with the mother in the crack house and all the neighborhood is in there using every room and corner to get high, have sex, push poison each other with STDs. Everything is going on around this child. I've been in an apartment. I've seen a baby sitting there playing with his Lego blocks and a big rat the size of his arm is running around him. And he's not even scared of it. And the mother in the corner smoking crack. And I jumped. I was scared. I ain't go front. But this is a baby. He was born into it, so that was the norm. It wasn't the norm for me to see no rat this big running that close to me in the alley and, in a building. But to come out and, and you're just minding this is crazy. And look, we still riding. I'm talking about, I was up in the coke house, right? I'm a ride. I was up in the coke house, and they had one of those, wooden boxes that go around the radiator with the mesh on it. And while we sitting there, bagging up, all I'm hearing is about 20 rats is running around on that hot heater. Right there. And everyone is backing up like they don't hear nothing, they don't see nothing. And I'm like, yo, I got to get out of here. Because that wasn't in my house. You understand what I'm saying? Not that type of rat behavior. Just like in my streets, it wasn't the type of rat behavior where a comrade tell on his friend. They did it. They did it. Yes, they've been telling. And they've been getting punished for telling. There's no more consequences for telling. So everyone is out here just because they're not getting their face ripped open anymore. Not promoting violence, but just let you know what happens on the streets that I'm speaking about. 21 Savage. You think you could walk in any penitentiary in America and say, F the streets? I told and I embraced all the rats and we on some forget y'all that done stood tall. Yo, dog, that was something serious, and I know you didn't think about what you said and you still don't understand the depth of what you said and how that could strike some people in the wrong way, because I'm going to finish playing your tape because all we doing is riding. And you're going to hear and see how he's laughing like it's a joke. When people is forced to have to live in these conditions and do whatever they have to do to survive, which meant poison the community, rob each other, rob your brother, rob your mother. It depends on your level of moralistic compass, how you feel about robbing your mother. I've seen dudes rob their mother. I've seen dudes charge their mother for crack cocaine, and they justify it by saying, if I don't sell it to somebody else will. But that's your mother. Man, I can't stop her from getting high. She's going to get high if she want to get high. That's the streets I'm talking about. Come on, dog. And you already know what we're going to do. If we see him selling to his mother, we're going to punish him. He gets no respect for that. You ain't even gonna be on the block no more. You like food. Because if it's anybody we love on the streets that I know that I was raised in, we love our mother. And if a man don't love his mother, he's not a man. If any woman got sense, they'll look at the way a man treats his mother to see how the man is going to treat them. If he's calling his mother a bee and a whore and everything else under the sun, what do you think he's going to call you? How long you think it's going to take before he smack the crap out of you? Come on, man. Let's finish this 21.
Yeah.
Let's shout that.
You doing some real shit though. Get it? Just gonna make it.
Huh? Your mic went out.
Yeah, I'm confused.
Yeah, I'm
Why?
confused.
The street.
I like the
I
empathy
ain't
with
supposed to
her.
say it like that.
You shouldn't.
I supposed to say say the streets.
It ain't what you supposed to say. You said what you wanted to say. Now you want to clean it up and say what you were supposed to. No, you're supposed to say what I wanted to say, not what I was supposed to say, because now it's like you're putting a front on. Or is that what you've been doing in your music? That's what I was supposed to say versus what I wanted to say. And if y'all sit here and let him get away with this Lilliputious ass apology and people defend it, yes, what he said is right. F the streets, and that's coming from a man that lived, died, got shot up 4 times, jumped off a building, sold 355 kilos of crack cocaine, got life in prison with no chance of parole. Had about 15, 20 cars forfeited from me, property forfeited from me. So of course I could say F the streets. When you ain't never been on the streets and you say that, that's a slap in the face to anybody that had to endure the streets. And then you rape us and then laugh at us and say, F you? Dog, I don't know if they really understand. That's why they keeping the numbers though on this, because they know I ain't speaking nothing but the facts. The man is laughing, saying, forget all of us after he done raped us. We done supported him, brought his merchandise, everything else. He put out an album that flopped, so now he come out and he say something. That's what the stats say. They said his album flopped. I ain't listened to it. They said the album flopped, and that's why he went up there saying F the streets, because the streets didn't support him. No, maybe the streets realized that you're not really from the streets. It's just a question. Do y'all think he's really from the streets? I don't know him. So I'm not bad-mouthing. I'm just keeping it real. I'm doing my commentation. This is what it is. Do y'all think that he really from the street, even saying that because they didn't buy his album? Do you think it's because they didn't buy his album? But he got a good point. It is F the streets. I agree with that 100%. But when you ain't never been out there and you just saying F the streets and you leave it so vague and you're not explaining that so that the people that's not from the street, that don't know no better, that's looking up to you, don't understand what you're saying, you're telling them that they could just be savages on the street. On the streets, there's codes, there's morals, there's principles. And yes, the streets don't love nobody. The streets don't have no heart. That's why I got life in prison with no chance of parole, because the street have no heart. But I'm not going to say F the street for the brothers out there that have to endure it, that's trying to survive and maneuver on it. But I am going to say F the streets to those that ain't in it, those that want to do the right thing, you know, and those that have a choice. The ones that's in it doing that, they got a choice too. They could not want the riches to have to break the law to get the fast money. But the environment they was put in, their mindset where they at, is what determined how they decide to move forward and elevate and function in society. Because take my sister's a lawyer, and I'm a damn criminal. My sister's a lawyer. We came from the same household. I made bad choices. She made excellent choices. That's why I love her. But you have to first admit you wrong, dog. 21 Savage, you laughing like it's a joke, so you don't even realize the magnitude of that, because you don't know that there's consequences to saying stuff like that. You know, hold on, man. Oh, let's play this, because we riding.
Yes.
We gotta stay the streets.
Yes.
We gotta get all the crazy killer shit out of it, and put the love and the hustle back in the shit.
Well, all that should have been in your post, and you should be having a serious conversation talking to the people about that because they look up to you. I don't know you. I listen to your music and I love your music. But I just listen to this music. I don't look at you as what you rap about. And that's what the thing is. Everybody get caught up on what they rap about, and the first person that happened to was Tupac. So this is just a continuation from back then. And that's in the urban community. Now, the first person that happened to was the man that played Superman back in the 30s, if you want to take it back. The man that played Superman, they had him with the green screen flying and all that. And he really believed he could fly. And he jumped off a building because he believed he could fly. Just like we believe that we can outsmart the law. And then we get caught up and get life in prison. And then now y'all come behind us after we go. You heard our stories, seen the Don Diva magazine. Big shout out to Don Diva, Felon, Jewel, you know what I mean? Kevin Chowns, As Is, all that. You know? Even Antoine went down, got fed doing his thing. Huh? Yeah. You know? So big shout out to them. You know? And don't forget about Cavario, you know, the creator of Don Diva magazine, what's that other one? Hip Hop Weekly. You know, come on, dog. I mean, we got real men. And y'all read these stories from these men, from their lifestyle, and you go on a microphone, you rap about it, and then they come home and you look at them as old washed up YouTubers. That's why I say, shut the F up. See what my hat say? That's what you say to people like that. They took our life. I remember they had a movie, right? Cause we riding. You know, they had a movie. What was that joint called? CB4. Chris Rock played in it. Straight out of Low Cash. You know, gangster, dope boy, club owner. I think it was Eddie Murphy brother played him. You know, he go to jail, and some local dudes started making songs and saying that that was that Kingpin that went to jail. And they blew up. It was called Straight Out of Low Cash. You know, is this what happened? As the hip-hop games turned to CB4 and they straight out of Low Cash where everyone is claiming to be somebody and not to shoot no shots. Big shout out to Rick Ross. Big shout out to Gotti. You know, all these people got all these gangsters' names and don't want to give it back. Big shout out to 50 Cent. You know, let's say all the names. You know, rest in peace to Shamik. But I'm just keeping it 100, and that ain't to throw no shots. That's just to let you know what it is and give it to you 100. 21 Savage, you need to really come and explain yourself on this one. You need to explain what you mean or stand on what you mean. No one telling you to apologize. I'm just saying let the people know what you're really saying. We don't need every day and every couple of days you come up here and you twisting and turning trying to add. Because this looked real stupid. You think what I should have said, what I should have said, shoulda, woulda, coulda, nigga. You know? Yeah, your publicist suggested what you should have said. We want you to say what you feel.
Yeah, but Counter Street, that is what that Counter Street. But you just saying we ain't pushing that.
Yeah, we ain't pushing it. We trying to stop it.
I'm
We
with
can't
you.
save. You can't save everybody, but you know.
Yeah.
Who you think you're gonna save saying F the streets? You know what I mean? In the way you doing it, and people look at you differently because you're a big platinum selling rapper. They look at me different because I'm an old washed up Kingpin on YouTube with the shut the F up hat because that's what you need to be doing until you come clean and let us know where you coming from. It ain't to dish you. I'm just telling you straight up because somebody got to talk to you youngins like it is, man. I'm 61 years old. So I'm not trying to disrespect you. I'm just letting it know what it is.
I
Can't save
ain't,
everybody.
I ain't moving no gold posters and saying,
I like him.
y'all, we forget y'all and we with y'all and
Nah. We ain't saying that. We holding accountable and then we letting them go on with their life. Like, what you mean? I ain't say that. I said that.
He's saying he hold them accountable. See, that's a dude that was on the sidewalk. Obviously, he wasn't in the street. That's a sidewalk dude. Because in the streets, oh, they hold you and they punish you. I know a lot that went to their grave for that. So they ain't no hold them and tell them over there. That's how it is in today's society, and that's how it is even in some prisons. I'm gonna say that straight up. You know a dude ain't no good. You tell him, yo, stay over there, don't come by us in the car, blah, 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 because whatever reason, you know what I mean? So it ain't every prison that, some prisons, they dudes might just be like, man, I ain't gonna mess my bid off for him, because if I punish him and I win, I'm gonna still lose, because I'm gonna lose this good time. I'm gonna wind up in ADX. I'm gonna wind up in court, because I know I'm gonna put that Bethlehem, as Banky Pound says, deep up in him, So you tell him, stay over there. You know what I mean? But that don't mean you're a rat, you're a snitch, you ain't gotta point the finger. But the first thing he must do is admit that he snitched. Admit that you're a rat so we know how to label you. Don't come like a rat in sheep's clothing or a rat in wolf's clothing. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, this is too deep for y'all. Because he was a rat coming amongst you and he got his fangs out. And he got the fake fangs from the little, Halloween store. You know what I mean? Got some blood on it. He say, man, I just punished somebody. He ain't do nothing. So now you go out and you punish somebody with him. And then he winds up telling on him. Now, how you feel? And for people to say that, how would you feel if someone told on you after the two of y'all decided to go do something willingly to break the law, they got caught, and then they told on you, they went scot-free, and here you go doing life in prison? Tell me how many of y'all can handle that. Put that in the comment. And then have a chance to tell on your own brother who's dead and get out of jail. And you say, nah, I can't do it. You got me, that's it. We ain't going no further. But that's what it is. But I learned something from a lot of you rappers, I see the way y'all act all tough when you get pulled over by the police, right? Let me talk to the youth, the ones that got some common sense. You get pulled over, you play the greenest green caterpillar, innocent, ain't biting nothing, dumb as a mother. Because 9 times out of 10, the people pulling you over, those are the ones that were bullied in school, and now they have a job of authority, and now they pull you over, and you talking about, yo, what I do? I ain't got to show you my license. What do you want, sir? Can I help you? Oh, yeah, okay, I'm sorry. Well, which way do I go? Which way I go, boss? You know what I mean? I'm going to play the goofiest goofy. I learned that from y'all, because when one simple stop leads to all of these other things, and I'm watching it on YouTube, I'm like, what the hell? I ain't just tone it down. You're going to show me your license. You're going to show me your registration. He got the power to lock you up. You know what I mean? Either you say something or you don't. And then people say, oh, because he said something, he's a rat. Nah, he's not a rat because he said something. As long as he ain't telling on nobody. But we've been on here long enough, man. I'm about to go. Yo, Cavario said he's going to do a live show tonight. It'll probably be up after mine. I'm going to rush this up so I can get up there. Yo, big shout out to Cavario. Go check him out over there at YouTube, man. Cavario the Mind Plug. You know what it is. All right.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime. Mecca Audio, Mecca what? Mecca Audio, Mecca what? Mecca Audio, Mecca what? Mecca Audio.
Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. An Instagram page and a YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a Kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca Audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be whoring uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend a ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community yours, so we can get back to the.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in hall.